blockchain. So may I please request you all to create some energy for a change. Thank God we are not on Zoom, where we are almost every time on the inaudible mode and the videos are off and we are doing multitasking. I'm glad to see you live in front of me. We are having beautiful eye contact, beautiful applauses, but what to do? We've forgotten to applause and put our hands together. We had no reason to celebrate at home. I mean, why do we applause sitting at home for 20 months? But ladies and gentlemen, for a change, the entire world has experienced uniqueness in their individual lives as well as far as our work profiles are concerned. The only thing constant has been innovation, creativity, and looking after oneself and thinking that every little bit that makes you happy and successful, you should truly take a step into. So I congratulate each and every one of you for taking this utmost wondrous step here at the first ever blockchain event in the history of World Expo 2K21, known as Expo 2020 Dubai. I can see a little more smiles coming, but I know you guys are going to hit me later for so much of delay. Thank you so much to our esteemed dignitaries, His Excellencies, Your Excellencies. It is absolutely a great feeling to meet you all in person. And of course, as we always say, we all are here to excel, to climb the ladder of success. When we have people from all across the world, it is so easy for all of us to connect, interact, and start excelling in our endeavors. To speak more on the world of blockchain, we have, of course, as I said, our distinguished speakers, our panelists, who really traveled from all across to be connected here. The room is full, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to please request you all to humbly make sure that your mobile phones are in an inaudible mode. Though we like to shake a leg and like to make reels on whatever music we hear on your mobile phones, but we can do that later. But for now, please make sure it's on the silent mode because the room is small. It's absolutely full of love and warmth. Now that I can see the spark in your eyes and with smiles, I guess I've been forgiven. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the host of this most wondrous event today as well as tomorrow. But tomorrow we'll start on time, and I promise you that it won't take me long to reach. And I presume all of us are now used to reaching here at the Indian Pavilion on time. So tomorrow, I promise we'll be here on time. May we please give it up for our host, who's very young, dynamic, the one who has a vision and believes in making others' vision into a reality. May we please give it up for Mr. Gaurav Dubeji, the CEO of TD5 Accelerator. A wholehearty welcome to you, dear sir. Your name is Gaurav, which means the celebration and being a winner. So we're here to get inspired by you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I didn't knew till the last minute she was talking about me. So I'll try to make it a quick one. And I'm going to share my business, of course. So I'll make a point around it. How many people really know the reason of delay for today? I'm just raise tiny fingers or whatever. How many people know the reason of delay? Okay. Well, not getting into the point of delay, it was because somebody from the royal family decided to pay a visit to the Indian Pavilion, and hence they got back to the, call it ground zero protocol. They had to stop everyone from coming in. They had to dismantle the arrangements. And they still probably have the main doors locked down. So I'm sure all of you have got down from the doors. The point I want to make from this example is the point of advisory. Every conference that we visit, most of the topics of all the Zoom calls that we've had in the last 2 years, endless meetings about how to raise a startup, how to build a business, especially in crypto. I guess every project is a startup. I mean, come on, Ethereum is still struggling, right? So everything in crypto is a startup. And and they need assistance, they need the right knowledge. And all these conversations for the last few years have been around what to do, how to make it, how to bring adoption, how to make it furthermore regulated. All these hows, I think, have been solved by someone somewhere, or at least have been solved by someone somewhere in some other way that might be slightly relevant here. And that guy can definitely give you a push to the next step. So I'm going to talk about advisory here. This is advisory. Like I said, I'm going to shell my business for sure. We are in the business of advisory. We are in the business of acceleration and incubation, which means someone exactly knows why were we stopped at the gates, right? And hence that makes us, let's say, plan better next time. Exactly similarly, I have my friend here from centralized finance world. I think they have a lot to advise to the DeFi world from where they have started, I guess, 40 years ago, at the beginning of banks or something. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, with the beginning of transactional fintech, like micro-transactional fintech. They have a lot to add to finance, and in my opinion, the killer app that blockchain has found till date is fintech. Now, let's say we're trying to discover NFTs as well. And so the event today and tomorrow is structured around bringing top-notch speakers together, getting their opinion, and then furthermore advices to the projects that are here. So we'll look forward to listen to them. We'll look forward to invite their experiences. We have some really experienced and in-hand experience, I would rather say, speakers here who had actually started their journey with probably one asset. I mean, we have our friend Tone here who has spent a lifetime with Bitcoin, and guess what? If you have to make, if you're making MI, you're probably making everything electronic, but then you're making everything electronic and you're still MI. You're Apple when you're only making what you're best at, right? So Tone is an example of an enterprise like Apple, where he's spent a lifetime and still speaking and evangelizing Bitcoin. What I mean to say, again, what I meant from this example is that there are distinguished experts here for the next 2 days who will talk about the topics in precision that you as a startups, as people from the industry, as people from the ecosystem, would definitely need somewhere in the journey of your startup, of your product, right? So I'd request you, for those who are here, physically available, to listen to them, post your questions. And for those who are watching it online, and I know a lot of you are actually watching it online on Vertex and TradeDog channels, you can actually post your comments right there, and we have our moderators who are ready to get back to you with answers. They'll connect you to mentors, judges. And lastly, I want to quote the BizThon, the active business hackathon competition that has been live for the last 30 days, has already received more than 1,000 business applications as yet. And there are so many wonderful ideas, wonderful entrepreneurs that have collated a bunch of fantastic startups. You guys can definitely drop by your questions, and you'll be connected to mentors, advisors, people around here to get you the right advice. Thank you so much, gentlemen. That's from my side.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gaurav. Right from the clarity in mention, the delay to, of course, moving to the world where the world is going with the cryptocurrencies and the Bitcoin, and allowing everyone to move further in their endeavors. Thank you, Mr. Gaurav. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all extremely thankful and blessed. Just his name is more than enough. I'm going to please request you all to kindly put your hands together for our honorable chief guest, who's shared his smiles with us and his message as well. May we all give a loud round of applause to our honorable chief guest, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Ahmed Al Nahyan Sahib. Yes, he's been unable to make it though with us, but we have this beautiful message that he sent, and of course, he's definitely going to join us pretty soon. The virtual world, the live world. We are here tomorrow as well. And to share a few words, maybe please continue the applauses as we invite His Excellency Ahmad Mutawali, the CEO of His Highness Office, to address all of us. Absolutely feels great, sir, to have your humble presence. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please put hands together for Your Excellency Ahmad Mutawali, sir. Salam. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I would like to offer my sincere regards to all honorable leaders, business tycoons, and delegates who present here tonight. Also, I need to send His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Ahmed bin Hamdan and Hayya regards to all of you. In this digital era, blockchain has very important tool. We all know digitalization is the future for every country around the world is aiming to achieve it. Applications include digitalization, the economy, and NFTs. Today, most of government and private institutions has accepted blockchain technology to improve their capability. I am proud to say that almost of government services in all UAE are based on blockchain, which has helped us to function effectively. It's very important to educate the general community about blockchain to bring them into flow of digital world. It's a very exciting time for us as Dubai EXPO 2020 is open. It's truly to great feat during the pandemic, and this has happened due to the vision of our leadership under His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the President of UAE, and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Al Rashid Al Maktoum, and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. We want to explore Dubai EXPO 2020 as there are many different things to do, see, and to feel it. There's something of interest in Expo for everyone, no matter you are a business or a family. Expo is for everyone. As I represent His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Ahmed bin Hamdan Al Nahyan office, we are ready to support anyone, and we are here to help anyone who needs to establish his business in UAE. Thanks again for your coming here. Wish you a very nice time in Expo 2020. Thank you.
Humble thanks to Your Excellency. I'm sorry, but I'm going to trouble you again and request you to be with us here on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been quite a while, as I said. It's been almost 20 months that we've been meeting each other live, and never imagined that different nationalities will come here together. But of course, this is Expo 2020 Dubai. We ought to meet people from all across the world, from all the different continents. We here are truly, truly very, very happy to see you all live, and we shall begin with a few felicitations, ladies and gentlemen. May I please invite the CEO of Vertex Events, the gentleman who believes in bringing happiness to everyone's lives along with their families. May we please once again welcome the gentleman who started a very amazing creating history in the world of world chain. Let's invite Pushkinagha ji. Pushkin sir, a wholehearty welcome to you. Thank you so much. We are here to felicitate our distinguished dignitaries who've been an inspiration and a motivation, who've been completely positive irrespective of what's really going on in the world or, of course, in one country, simply because we need to look at the brighter side of life. Ladies and gentlemen, the celebration calls for applauses. So I'm just going to remind you that we're not virtual because we never talk about, yes, let's put our hands together and, let's feel it. So it's just the head not good enough. But right now it's going to be live applauses, because applauses make you at the same time and give you the best of health benefits. Once again, as I suggested, yes, I'm going to travel and request Your Excellency to kindly be with us once again here on the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, we like to, sir, I'm going to request to be center stage. Pushkinagha, sir, a little bit center. The lights, yeah. So, friends from the media, my lovely friends from the media, you have to tell us the exact position to avoid shadows. Thank you. May we please hear a loud round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, on the dais here with us, Your Excellency Ahmad Mutawali, sir, the CEO Office, Highness Office, who addressed everyone with his very kind words. And we'd also like to thank our honorable chief guest, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Ahmad Al Nahyan, sir. Thank you very much, dear sir. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please continue the applauses as we invite His Excellency Mr. Witt, the President of Liberland between Serbia and Croatia, and we definitely want to know more about Liberland, right from the currencies and what the country has to offer. At the same time, when do we get to visit the very beautiful land of Liberland? So we'd like to felicitate you at first. Thank you. We'd like to present a memento. Thank you, Your Excellency, for doing the honors along with Pushkinagha, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, here, the blockchain Dubai at the World Expo. May we please give it up one more time for our young star. As we always say, it's always youngsters who will truly brighten this place up. One more time, may we please invite Gaurav Dubeji. I mean, Gaurav would think, isn't it funny I'm the host and why am I being felicitated? But Gaurav, that's the way it is. Thanks to your dimples as well. So that goes the extra smile, extra score for that. Thank you very much, Gaurav Dubeji, for really bringing in, people from all walks of life here, of course, and we all getting into the blockchain world. And thank you for the smiles, gentlemen. I think I've taken everyone's attention there, and Gaurav's going to hate me for this for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please welcome Mr. Alan V. A wholehearty welcome to Mr. Alan V. Thank you, sir. Such a pleasure to have you here, dear sir. Thank you, Alan, sir. Waiting to also interact with you in person. Ladies and gentlemen, sir, one more time. Sir, one more, please, sir. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want a good photo with both of you, a different one for Instagram. So, a different photo, please. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Pushkinagha, sir. I always tell them make the most out of it because, we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, Twitter. So let's have some different photo. Thank you, sir. Our humble thanks to Your Excellency once again. Ladies and gentlemen, we start with the panel discussion, and I really wanted to know if the seats are fine here. But of course, this only proves that in our hearts we are very close, but we can be a little away since we have the screen in the center. May we please put our hands together as we invite the moderator of our session, ladies and gentlemen. Towards the beginning, it's time for all of us to really know about the institutional adoption of Bitcoin. We've heard and of course experienced Bitcoins, and we have different rules and regulations in different parts of the world. But right now, on the institutional adoption of Bitcoin, may we please invite our moderator of the session, Mr. Mru Patelji. A wholehearty welcome to you, Mru, sir. Sir, you can have your select whichever side and whichever is the hot seat for you. Can I please request you for the microphones meanwhile on the tables? Oh, that's so kind. That's so kind, sir. A wholehearty welcome to you. A few cordless, a few microphones here, please, on the table. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to please request you all to continue the applauses as we invite Mr. Tone Yes. Mr. Tone Face. Mr. Tone Vase. Yeah. So yeah, I'm so sorry for that, but it goes like a rock star, and you've been really very kind enough. Yes, Mr. Tone Vase. You've been constantly applauding for everyone, so I'm going to do this for you and do this for you. And thank you for your bright laughter along with your smiles as well since the beginning, since the time I met you here. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Tone Vase. All right, I am fine with.
Mic check.
Thank you. May we please kindly invite Mr. Kirill Mishanin, please. Kirill Mishanin, sir. May we please, yes, invite Mr. Miss Firdosh Sheikh, please, our lovely lady, Miss Firdosh. Thank you, Firdosh. Assalamu alaikum, now we see you here. And I'm also going to, ladies and gentlemen, to join the panel, request Mr. George Savastio to kindly join everyone here. Mr. George Savastio. Thank you, sir. A very good evening to you, dear sir.
George, see you. Pleasure.
Institutional adoption of Bitcoin.
I should probably be on that side. This way you moderate from the corner. It makes more sense.
Why don't you go there? Yeah,
I'll go over
absolutely.
here.
I'll come.
Please have your select.
This is.
Thank God we can play musically chair because we are live for a change.
There's what? Oh, Kirill.
We are probably away.
Oh, there's Nikolai as well. Yeah.
May we please invite Mr. Nicholas Kochnow.
Yeah, Nikolai. And we need one more chair if Kirill turns up.
Sure.
Don't worry, Nikolai. Hey, don't do this to me. You can't keep me lonely here. We're amongst friends here. Okay. Well done. Thanks, Nicola. Are we ready to roll? Thank you. Oh, first session.
We'll share that.
Well done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, George, can you just do a mic test? Yeah, I didn't think so. It was on.
You want it back?
No. You need to keep it pressed on. Anyway, no, I've got this. All right. Good evening, everybody. Apologize again for all the delays and what have you. But my name's Mru Patel. We're going to rattle through this pretty fast because I've got another session in 45 minutes. Whoa. No, I think it's because we're near the mic, the speaker. Yeah, near the speaker. Yeah, and the mic. Okay, yeah, my name is Mru Patel. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I think Gaurav mentioned about people in the tech business. I've been in there for 35 years with Sun Microsystems, Siemens, dot-com days, real estate investments, tokenized assets, blockchain, crypto for the last 7 years. I know most of these people for the last 6-7 years, meeting them around the world, plus quite a lot of you guys as well, whilst Wit is smiling over there. Today's session, if everyone can just introduce yourself very quickly, and then we'll get down to the impact of Bitcoin on institutions. Okay? Nicholas, you might.
Shall I go first in this
You
case?
go
Okay,
first.
thank you. So my name is Nicolas Stoyanov, and before I introduce myself, I want to say a special thanks to Pushkin, who organized everything here, who invited us and who got us together here. It's good to see people like Gaurav that I've been working with for the last 2 years, I think. Tone that I've been known also for ages, George and Firdosh, who's actually one of our first investments when we started off. So it's great to see you here. Very shortly, I am the co-founder of Eternity Blockchain, and after building and scaling up Eternity, I left the project in order to focus mostly on high-impact investments around the world. And this would be the summary of myself, and I would hand over to you.
Hello everyone, my name is Firdaus Sheikh. I'm co-founder and CEO of Drive. Drive is the world's first decentralized ride-sharing platform, and we are trying to empower both the driver and rider community by using blockchain as an underlying technology. And we are launching our platform in Bangalore, India next month. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Just keep it a bit on that side.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. My name is George Sebastião. I am co-founder of something called GBO. It stands for Global Blockchain Organization, got founded in Oslo. And the second thing, more regionally here, we have a group that we call EcoX that we started over 4 years ago and has helped build the community locally. So we do lots of events and a lot of knowledge transfer in terms of getting to know blockchain and all its associated technologies and how to do use cases by establishing an ecosystem in place.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming out. And thank you to the organizers for the invite. My name is Tone Vase. I have a YouTube channel mostly about Bitcoin and also investing in general. I've had a YouTube channel since about 2016. I've been on YouTube before that. Prior to that, I spent about 10 years on Wall Street. Today, I also run workshops on education to teach people what Bitcoin is and how to properly and safely use it.
Thank you, Tone. Before we start, I don't know if people know, there's been a recent law in this part of the world where we are not supposed to promote any specific coins or say invest in this coin or the other. So this is the escape clause, okay? Do your own due diligence. And this is not for our panel, okay?
Financial advice.
So no financial advice. All right. Let's kick off with Tone at the far end, all right? Tone, the whole thing about Bitcoin, and if I remember right, 5-6 years ago when we met in Singapore, we were talking Bitcoin. And in those days, we didn't have as many shitcoins as you called it, right? And you said, this is the only coin, this is what will happen, it will take over the world, blah, blah, right? Now, we've now seen institutions also doing major investments into Bitcoin. What's your view going forward with like 8,000-10,000 coins now available? Where do you see it either consolidating or institution taking it to the next level? What's your view on that?
Well, since the creation of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin first came out, no one really paid attention to it. But a couple of years later, when Bitcoin started to gain value, people realized that Bitcoin changed something. What Bitcoin created was basically the ability to take any line of code and turn it into money. And all you need is a really good story and make it to the news cycle. So the amount of coins is actually unlimited because the amount of lines of code is unlimited. And while the number of these tokens will go up and some of them will have value, individually they will continue to lose value against Bitcoin over time. So even if Bitcoin is only 40-50% of total crypto market cap, I don't expect any coin to be more than 1% of Bitcoin's market cap individually. And on a long scale, they're all going to trend down because Bitcoin has something the others don't, and that's scarcity. And none of the others have that individually or cumulatively. So I still believe Bitcoin is the only one that can actually last and is considered a bit of a safe haven, while the rest are a lot more speculative, just like any new tech stock.
Okay. Nicola, what do you think when you guys go out and look for investments and you see other coins, apart from what Tone's saying, Bitcoin's the way to go? You see a lot of other coins, there's tons now. Where do you see yourself saying, you know what, this has got some legs to be institutional grade, or this has got legs to be store of value kind of thing, or even just a good utility which will grow in time like any money for it?
I think I can only agree with Tone when it comes to Bitcoin, and there's only one Bitcoin, and it has been the first one, and it is here to stay. When we as venture capitalists go out and we go and search for investments, what we focus on mostly is the team, the opportunity, and the timing of the market, because everything is cyclical at the end of the day. And you know what happened back in the days is happening now.
Yep.
It is a great time. People call it a bull market. You know, there are certain indicators that are different to last time because you have institutional money coming in, which give a little bit of more hope right now. But this cycle is also going to end at some point of time, and then we're going to go back into the building part. For us, there's multiple things what we look at. I don't think institutional grades are, when you look at Casper, for example, is an institutional blockchain approach. They focus on very specific things. Right now, the utility tokens that we're seeing are more easily accessible and easier to go with when it comes to the investment part per se. So for us, it's what is the long tail going to look like? How is the secondary market going to look like? And how is the team going to be able to actually work in the best possible way with the product in order to scale it? So we believe that investments in Europe especially will focus more on bridging institutional and governance tokens, but you still have a lot of startups that are just going the other way and they're just going to do their own thing.
But if you look at, just to pick on that, if you look at the MicroStrategies, the BlackRock, Goldman's, all of those guys, large institutions going in with billions into Bitcoin, and some playing now with a few of the sideline altcoins as well. Do you think Bitcoin will still be as big as it is today?
I don't know how I can answer this.
Yeah. Go for it. I want to be cynical here. We make it more fun, all right?
I mean, look at the
Go for it.
thing. MicroStrategy has a very, very direct strategy. They say, Michael Saylor says that Bitcoin, he believes in it and he goes ahead. If you look at BlackRock and other companies, investment companies, they create right now multiple portfolios. And before they went public, they had created those companies, if they were ETPs or ETFs, they were months before that set up already. And they had gone... What I've seen mostly, they went with an index of the top 2 coins, and that's what they went and they topped up with. But they're not going to be the ones that go into some kind of like early stage seed project. They're going to mostly go into infrastructure, which has proven not to either break or be forked too much, because of mistakes, and which has showed resilience. So those indexes have been the second layer that investors or larger investment houses have been looking at. But there's still Bitcoin, which is the number one focus of those people. For sure.
Firdosh, let's get to you. You've got a lovely smile there.
Well, my...
1 second, Firdosh. Ladies first, bro. So you're in a situation where you're doing a new business, entrepreneur, getting onto the ladder, hopefully looking for large institution investors at some point in the roadmap. Do you think you have, I don't know, that extra edge to compete with institutions coming to you rather than going to the safe bet? And how do you make yourself, I guess, differentiate against institution money going into what's tried, tested, proven?
So I guess our biggest struggle was our struggle was always about proving ourselves about what we are doing. Everybody says this, that after the financial institution like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, the second best use case of blockchain is in the mobility industry, and nobody is actually working to build product in the mobility space because it's huge. It's way too huge for anyone to enter into it. But that's where the world will change. That's where the mass adoption for not only cryptocurrency, but blockchain as a technology will come. And if like I start today and people see if what we are trying to achieve, we are able to do that, we'll see more people building real world product. And that's where we'll see the traditional institution coming in and participating to be a part of, decentralized platforms that is going to change the world.
Could you give an example for those who don't know what mobility types of blockchain use cases are?
So one of the use cases is obviously what we are doing at Drive.
That was a good plug for me to you. You owe me, right?
Yeah. So the best use case, even Vitalik himself said this, that, instead of putting driver away from job, and we can actually put Uber out of job by decentralizing the ride-sharing platform, connecting drivers and riders directly with each other without the existence of a middleman, where not only you're giving giving 100% ownership of the fare to the driver, but also making sure that the power that used to belong to this community is given back to them. The whole idea that there's a central party who's controlling everything and anything in the ecosystem is something that has to go away. The whole fight about Bitcoin also is about that the banking channel or banking institution are controlling everything, and that's why we need a digital currency where nobody's asking you question when you move money from your wallet to anyone else's wallet. And that's what we are trying to do with the mobility industry, starting with ride sharing. But as you look at mobility as a whole, it's a huge industry: transportation, logistics, supply chain. Everything can be moved to a decentralized ecosystem, but it has to start somewhere.
Yeah. George, to follow on that, now you see the use case from the utility, mobility, Bitcoin tried, tested, established. Interesting question. Why do you think we need so many different coins, even for utility mobility? Why can't Bitcoin be used? Why are people creating so many coins?
Technology evolves. Although I am, and I enjoy things like, for example, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I call it blockchain 1.0, and it does serve its purpose. It's a anchor on the ground. However, technology continues to evolve, and as we sometimes refer to Ethereum as blockchain 2.0, it introduced massive new functionality that simply did not exist in Bitcoin. One example was smart contracts. Now, I am referring to blockchain as a technology that can be used for solving real-world problems. So what are some of the real-world problems that got solved when we introduce sophisticated smart contracts? It allows us to introduce much better disintermediation that goes beyond just decentralization and sharing and transfer of trust and power value. Let me give you maybe one or two examples from the real world. One example is being applied in Vodafone. How Vodafone, which is today the largest mobile operator in the world, over 50 different mobile operations, and they deal with hundreds of suppliers. Previously, all this work of dealing between Vodafone and its suppliers was done on paper. You sign a contract, then somebody supplies you equipment. Equipment could be cellular towers, could be mobile phones, could be computers or storage. That really means that if you order 100 cellular towers and 99 were delivered, a lot of adjustments have to be done by paper. By creating digital smart contract between supplier and provider of services or products, we're able to directly save Vodafone, just to give you an idea, implementation about $400 million per year. So this is a tangible value. It's not about coins, it's not about artificial. It's really the usage of technology to solve a business purpose. This is example number one. Example number two is with the advent of these digital or neobanks, whether it happens to be just a pure digital bank or one that is based on DeFi protocols or so. What this allows us to do is to build a much more cost-effective banking system that allows now us to provide inclusion. That means we can now provide services for people that were before unbanked. That means we are offering inclusion to a whole new series of people. Now, we talked about mobility, we talked about financial inclusion. One of the other topics of EXPO is about sustainability. One of the best applications that we see recently about blockchain is in the usage of decarbonization, or basically taking carbon offsetting and carbon positive carbon credits versus carbon negative. And that really means the polluters can now take their technology and transfer them to people that are removing that carbon from the economy. Yep. They're providing green alternatives. So this is a technology that is not changing, but it's accelerating how we decarbonize. So I see all these technologies around blockchain as a way to do a better digitalization of the world in which we live in. But I can tell you one thing. The best blockchain application is the one that you'll use tomorrow, and you don't actually know it's actually blockchain.
Absolutely.
And we have one example here
in
Dubai. There's a good friend of mine that runs a company called Liquid, and he has implemented this in the most largest hotels in Dubai. And what this application is very simple. You check into your hotel, you give a credit card, and as you know, you always give a deposit to spend on other things. So what they give you is a digital wallet that allows you to either go ski on the sand, you can go to the water park, you can play with the dolphins, or you can buy some other goods and services around town without carrying money with you. Of course, what you're paying is in dirhams, but what you actually have is a digital wallet that has transparency in all the transactions. It's actually a coin that is being used, but it's a coin that's not listed on any exchange.
Yep.
You do not see it, and not even an exchange is involved. When you leave the hotel, all these transactions that you have collected over your vacation or your business period get reverted back against your credit card, and either you have a debit or a credit on your checkout. So this is one of the best implementations of blockchain that I've seen, that it's there, but the user does not have an idea that he's actually using blockchain in the process.
Yeah, it's like when we were in the .com days, we used to say, why do you care where the IP is and how the DNS servers and domain servers work? You go in, you plug, and you get internet. Who cares what's behind it? Let's take it on from there. So you are suggesting, and I'm of the same views, that use case per use case based on two things you said. One is the eco-sustainability side of it. The other one is transaction speed and transaction costs. Hence why you've got these other coins and other blockchains appearing. We are doing our own with WealthTech. So with that in mind, it still begs a question. Will Bitcoin want to, at some stage, enter that mark, or just stay as the store of value kind of things, like how gold is, rather than you trade on it and use it as a utility? So it'd be interesting to hear your view. Do you think Bitcoin would ever want to go there to get green or to become some form of utility? I don't think so, but I'd love to hear your view. And let's get heavy on it.
So
please.
Here's the thing. Yeah, sure. So Bitcoin is truly the only decentralized platform we have. So there's no such thing as will Bitcoin do it? Well, we have no idea where Bitcoin is going to go. Yeah. It's really driven by developers, and the most primary thing to Bitcoin is that the blockchain has to work. Like, Bitcoin is now the national currency of El Salvador. And along with the dollar for now, but eventually I don't expect El Salvador to keep using the dollar. Eventually it'll just be Bitcoin. And by that time, probably all of Latin America will be using it. So the concept, the Silicon Valley concept of move fast and break things does not actually apply. Like in any other project in crypto, including Ethereum, if it stops working, it's like, oh, it's okay. Sorry for your loss. No big deal. There is Solana, there is Cardano. Like, just move your project over. It's not a big deal. Like, it's not going to change anything. But if Bitcoin goes down, that changes a lot. Because to me, Bitcoin is not blockchain 1.0. Bitcoin is internet. We're still using internet 1.0. I mean, some people are old enough to remember using your email through a command line. Who here used email through command line? A few people, a few hands went up, right? When I got to my university, I had to use email through command line. We're still using the same thing. It's just a little, like, the interfaces got a little better, but it's still there. Because there's only one internet. And I believe there's only one public blockchain. And George is a good friend, but I pretty much disagreed with everything he said. I don't see it that way. I see Vodafone just being too lazy the last 20 years to update their database to solve their problem, because they don't need a smart contract to do it, and they don't need a blockchain to do it. They just need people to maybe email each other instead of signing things on paper by hand. You can use the latest technology. What makes Bitcoin special is decentralization that involves this global mining network and people running a node. People like myself have every single Bitcoin transaction that has ever existed since the very first transaction stored. And the reason we do this is because if something happens, if the electric grid goes down for weeks, Bitcoin will sync back up because people have the history. maybe 5 people in the world have the entire history of Ethereum. Eventually, it will be one person, Vitalik. These are not. I don't see them as decentralized systems, and they're the word blockchain is just being used for a database. Yeah. So
don't
Bitcoin,
hold back. Please don't hold back. Yeah. You're holding back.
I'm going to finish up. And but because Ethereum did provide a utility, I will agree that Ethereum provided a utility, and that utility that Ethereum provided was the ability for new projects to kind of finance themselves by creating a token, and that use case is pretty much undeniable. We can debate whether that's good or bad, but the use case is there, and Bitcoin developers eventually had to build something to compete, and there's now the Liquid sidechain, ironically, similar name, and the Liquid sidechain does have the ability to run smart contracts. It requires a Liquid token, a utility token of the Liquid sidechain, but that token is a peg to Bitcoin. So no new tokens actually get created. You lock up Bitcoin to acquire Liquid Bitcoin to use them as a utility. It's kind of like buying airline miles to then use airline miles. So they're pegged, so they're not speculative. And they power the smart contracts on top of Bitcoin. It's fairly new. It's not being promoted. No one's really using it, but the functionality is there, and more functionality will come that eventually, as these other blockchains become more unscalable and more expensive to use, like we're seeing with Ethereum, with transaction fees, hundreds of dollars, eventually those projects will migrate to other platforms, and eventually they will end up on Bitcoin, but it could be another decade.
Okay, interesting. You're saying this cost will go up. So we brought up Solana, all right? In my view, from what I've seen with Solana for the last couple of years, transactions of over 75,000, this is Visa grade transaction rates, the cost at 0.5 zeros and 1 cent. So now we have got a crypto solution with blockchain where transactions are seriously high, cost is seriously low, and it's going to get into the banking industry at some stage where a lot of the fintech organizations, certainly the NFTs platforms, are beginning to use that. So do we call that as a serious contender, perhaps for you, a serious contender now for another institutional level investment? Because this is about the institution rather than techie speeds and feeds type of a session, right? So do you think institutions are going to say, hang on, there is Ethereum 2.0 when it comes out, and there is the likes of Solana's, Matrix, and all these who are attacking our space? Do we get into them or do we fight against them?
Solana is a little bit of a strange example in this case due to the recent happenings of Solana.
Well,
so keeping that in mind, I would say no, because it is correct. When you look at an institution, the biggest issue is security and stability. And in those newer platforms that are using, I mean, Ethereum may be taken apart because it is pretty decentralized and, let's say, distributed, actually. It is pretty distributed. But taking that one apart, the other platforms are still incredibly young, to be honest with you.
Yes.
So the fault tolerance is pretty low. And
untested.
Yes. So that, in my opinion, simply creates a risk that institutions are not willing to take at this stage. I mean, we're looking on one side, obviously, the usability and the actual users. On the other side, the micro-strategies and so on that we talked about earlier as an investment. When it comes to usability, I think that the institutions still prefer something. I can't believe that I'm going to say this, but if you look at R3, if you look at Azure, if you look at Casper, things like this, rather than using a public blockchain per se. And I do not see this happening if they do not fork it into something which is run internally in itself.
Yeah, good point. We've got 5 minutes. Do we do an interaction? Any questions from the audience? I always like to say we are here for you guys. We could blabber on all day, all night. But if you've got a question, Gaurav and his dimples, where is he gone? There you are. Gaurav, go and ask a question. Let's make this more lively. And make it controversial if you can, otherwise it's boring, right?
No, this is my session. I have a controversy.
Okay. No, you can spill over.
I have a feeling it's coming to me.
So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, what do you think about wrapped Bitcoins?
Wrapped?
Wrapped.
I'll repeat the question. Right. Well, the question is, where are you wrapping it, right? So you can say that liquid Bitcoin is kind of like wrapped Bitcoin. It's a similar concept. You lock up your Bitcoin in order to, get potentially another token pegged or backed by that Bitcoin to use it somewhere else. So when you are wrapping that Bitcoin on, say, Ethereum or another blockchain, my problem is that I don't trust any of these other blockchains. They're decentralized enough to screw things up badly, but they're also centralized enough not to be censorship resistant. So if 5 to 6 key people in Ethereum just got taken by authorities somewhere, Ethereum will alter. So I don't find them to be censorship enough, but I find them to be potentially technologically dangerous enough. So I would never wrap Bitcoin on top of Ethereum because I don't trust the Ethereum blockchain to exist in the future. I expect it to just grind to a halt and people will move somewhere else. So, I mean, the concept's there, but I just don't trust the tech, and I never did.
What makes you trust liquid? I mean, it's for the first time I've heard you talking about anything else.
Right. So what makes me trust liquid? So, I mean, I wouldn't trust liquid with my savings.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, it's only Bitcoin. But liquid does have some functionality that Bitcoin doesn't. So if you need to use that functionality, and remember, for me, it's used functionality. No one is wrapping Bitcoin for functionality. People are wrapping Bitcoin in order to do yield farming to kind of get free money out of something. So that's not exactly real use case functionality. I'm not sure what I would use liquid for, but if I was to find useful functionality in that system, that's what I would use because I trust the developers that built it, and it's by the same developers that maintain Bitcoin.
Okay, we have another question from a gentleman over there, just behind.
I wanted to add just one thing here that I think is quite important.
Me too.
Bitcoin by itself does
so
not
this
solve
liquid
all the
question
world's
can
problems.
run forever.
Because Bitcoin does not solve all the world problems. That's why we have other layers of technology to help us solve these problems. For example, if you want to have an issue you're trying to solve, like asset tokenization, you want to tokenize real estate, golds, diamond, and others. These are things that have real value in the real world. You have artists creating art. It has real value. Bitcoin does not solve that problem. That's why we have asset tokenization. That's why we have NFTs and other technologies. However, I do believe the future of the world is going to be in inclusion and in interoperability. So Bitcoin has its role to play.
Yep.
The other technologies will extend the capability that is not offered today in Bitcoin. And one example of that is the Lightning Network. Because if you try to do all the transactions in the native Bitcoin, we would burn the planet and no transaction would go through. But by providing Lightning, we're able to do a much larger amount of transactions in an inclusive way. Yep. So by solving the problem in a practical way for real people every day, we achieve the objectives we set ourselves to do.
Super, thanks. Go for it. Next question. Oh. You can shout it out, I'll repeat it.
Okay, yeah, thanks. I hope it doesn't sound... So, don't you, just to follow up on George's comment right now, don't you have a feeling that all these discussions about Bitcoin versus other coins is a little bit similar to trying to compare, in traditional world, gold, traditional money, real estate, and trying to make a decision what is a better asset class. They're all different, right? They're used for different things.
Yeah, very good point.
It's almost like, it's almost like as if we've learned how to use a hammer and just go around and use it for pretty much any solution that we want to do in our real life.
Right, but all of your examples are literally like investments, right? Like gold. Gold isn't really a utility anymore. No one uses gold.
Exactly.
Gold is just literal store of value that can't even adjust for inflation. So it's just, it's pretty much shiny rock at the moment. Maybe that will change in the future, but I doubt it because Bitcoin now exists. And
but are you not referring to Bitcoin as a store of value in this case
I do,
as
but
well?
Bitcoin is also a technology. So Bitcoin is a combination of gold and the internet itself. So I don't like comparing Bitcoin to other crypto assets or other blockchains. I can compare Bitcoin to the internet where we can compare Ethereum to a company on top of the internet. Because to me, the Ethereum token acts more like a stock of Google than it does of a piece of the internet.
That's true, but let's compare again real estate, right? Because if there's no technology in real estate, then we will just all live in one floor huts, right? There won't be skyscrapers, there won't be other things. So there's a technology plus the investments around
But real estate does have a utility, right? You do live in real estate, and people
you
invest.
store the value, you transfer this value in with Bitcoin, so that there's no difference in it then. There is a technology element and there's the store value element in it as well.
Well, okay, so then I missed the point. I'm missing the point here.
No, I mean, what I'm just saying is that whenever we have this division, like hard division in between Bitcoin and the other coins, there's always this discussion that there's this only one true technology plus the store of value, whereas all the other ones are, somewhat different and less worthy. In my opinion, it's just a question of how do you apply these things, right? Because for some particular reasons, for some particular like services or things, you cannot use Bitcoin, and you have to evolve the technology for other purposes, right?
For me personally, I don't really see a need for any of these other tokens. They're just there because the creation of that project could not have been possible without the founders, creating money out of thin air before the project existed. So I don't find much value in them, but a lot of people use them for speculation because all of these tokens have some kind of a value long before they have an operational project, because these projects would never be built if that speculation didn't exist.
Okay, we could wait. Time out. We'll be here forever on this one. We will be talking about horse carts against the wheel, the BMW against Lamborghinis. Where is the engine? Where is that? Who provides the petrol? Who provides the gas and battery? All right, let's wrap this up because I've got to be somewhere else as well. A big round of applause to our panel speakers. Thank you. And those who want to take it forward, you can go with Tone. Believe me, I've had it for 5 years with Tone. Like that. You will never convert him. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Round of applause.
Thank you very much. I want to please request you all for a brilliant
Group photo.
I want to request Mr. Pushkinagha and Gaurav to kind of
Hey, yeah, come on this way.
for a group photo along with
Yeah. Gaurav, kidhar hai?
along with Alan.
Gaurav,
Yes.
aaja.
Alan, can we also have you?
Alan, Pushkin, idhar aaja.
Okay, we'll continue moving.
Are we going to carry on moving here?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the applause. I love the energy.
Oh, Kirill.
Thank you very
Where were
much,
you?
Mr.
Where were you?
Mr. Nicolas Cottenau, Ms. Firdaus Sheikh, Mr. George Sebastio, and let's give it up for our moderator, Mr. Mru Patel.
Woo.
Thank you very much. Thank you, dear sir.
Thank you.
Thank you to each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen. We have Mr. Kirill Mishanin who's joined us here. We're going to invite you right after this session for our second panel discussion. Thank you, dear sirs. Thank you to our lovely lady. Thank you, Ms. Firdaus. Ladies and gentlemen, for the presentation, may we please kindly invite, as we put our hands together, and you join all of us in inviting Mr. Alan Way.
Kirill, after this.
Mr. Alan. Thank you, dear sir.
Alan, you want this?
And of course, we're going to also take a look at the presentation of L-Bank. We truly thank L-Bank for our association as well, and thank you for all the love and support that you've given us here. Ladies and gentlemen, the first ever blockchain event in the history of World Expo. Over to you, dear sir.
Hi. Where's my PPT? Hello, everyone. My name's Alan, the global CEO of L-Bank Exchange. Today, I'm here to introduce you about our exchange, L-Bank. Next one. L-Bank Exchange, we are launched in 2025. I start our team and in the next year, we launched the exchange. Now, L Bank is already global ranking 20, around 20. You can check it in CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, like this. And in L Bank Group, now we already have L Bank Exchange and L Bank Labs. That's for VC and trading. And L Bank Mining, that's for mining. Like now we are mostly mining the Filecoin. Next one. And for now, L Bank, we already built our global team. We have many teams in different countries. And I'm here also. Dubai is in fact, before, mostly I live in Hong Kong and China and Singapore. But now I'm here Dubai, mostly for the global marketing team. I'm looking for more global marketing team to join us to make L Bank more global. Before, L Bank is mostly Asia. But start from this year, we start the global marketing strategy. And in fact, I live in Dubai only 3 months. 2 months ago, in a conference, in my speech, I said, many people may still remember that L Bank already have users in 15 countries. But yesterday, I checked the date of L Bank. In these 3 months, now we already have users from 120 countries. That's our growth. That's how we grow our global marketing. And we are now going to more and more international global to get more users from the global marketing. That's our data increase very fast. Next one. And in fact, maybe many people already know L Bank because we are really old exchange. So many years ago we started. Just before, for me, most time I live in China. I didn't go outside. But now we start the global marketing. And what I'm here is mostly to, I want to get more people who can work with us to do the global marketing team. As I'm building global marketing team in Dubai, in Singapore, and in Philippines, in Nigeria, in USA. This is what I'm doing, and I'm going step by step. For now, I'm in Dubai, and my next step is USA, and then Canada, and then India. That's my plan, step by step. And I'm here to very happy to know everyone, and I want to know if anyone you have interest to work with us, we can also do something together. Okay, you can see that's about my style of L Bank. Next one. We have 4 licenses now, and there is still more licenses we are restricting. Like in Dubai, we are also talking with them about the license. Next one. Next. Okay. Next. This is our users, global users. Before, last night I said to everyone only 50 countries users, but yesterday it's really 120 country users, and I'm still making these groups bigger and bigger. In fact, in this year, in my plan, I didn't pay so big budget for the global marketing. Most of the time, I'm doing the improvement of our product to make the product more global, to support more language, to support more international UI, to support more payments like this. But we already get the growth very fast. And in fact, in the next year, my plan is I will pay big budget for all the marketing, cover all the crypto mediums and the advertising and agency like this. That's the big step of our global marketing. Yeah, we are step by step. For now, our bank already have 1 billion daily trading value. We have spot trading, futures trading, like this. Next one. Next one. Yeah, this is our growth. We are growth very fast. Although before we are most Asia, but now we start the global marketing this year, this strategy this year. And we are just start, but it's grows really very, very fast. And I think in the next year, we will have our big step for the global marketing to get more users, to make our bank more popular to everyone. Next one. Next. This is our event before. Next one. Next one. Next one. Next. Next. This is our bank labs. Our bank labs is most for the VC invest in new project and the trading, two kinds of business. Next one. You can know something about our bank labs. Next. This is the strategy categories. Next. Next one. Mining. Next one. To the end. Yeah, this is what I want to say to everyone. We are looking for more partners to do the marketing together. We need global ambassadors and global partner for the global marketing. What I'm doing is going to this country, next country. I have planned. I told you already. And in every country, we will find our partner now to do the marketing together. We will support our partner by our best to do this. And our partner will feedback us, and we win together. And if you want to know details about this, you can ask me. Next one. Yeah, the agents partner. We also have our agents platform. Next one. Okay, if you have any questions and we have any chance to work together to do the global marketing together, you can add me. Thank you.
Thank you. You came back pretty soon. I was all set to have a pose with you, Mr. Allen. Thank you for the wondrous presentation, and thank you for allowing all of us to be a part of L Bank and your family as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you all, as I said, yes, it feels great to hear the applauses live. It just makes all of us feel alive individually. Thank you very much once again, and yes, we have a lot of brainstorming going on there, and the association with L Bank and the benefits, a lot of permutations and combinations working on in our mind. Thank you very much. That was Mr. Alan Wee, and now for the panel discussion, maybe all put our hands together as we invite our moderator, Mr. Gordon Einstein, here with us on the dais. Good evening, sir. A whole lot of welcome. You can have your favorite hot seat. Thank you, dear sir. May I please request you for the cardless, my lovely crew. Thank you. Can we have the cardless here? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please continue the applauses as we invite our distinguished speakers. Mr. Ben El Edrisi. A whole lot of welcome to you, dear sir.
Oh, there he is.
Is it lovely, lady? Sir, says here. Thank you, Mr. Ben El Edrisi, sir. Mr. Mike Moran, thank you so much. All right, let me remind you, we are all live, ladies and gentlemen.
I am going to raise the energy so high in this room.
I like this, I appreciate this.
No
Can
idea.
we please have the microphone, the cordless, on the tables, please? My lovely crew, thank you. May we please kindly continue the applauses as we invite our lovely ladies. Miss Anna Tutua. A whole lot of welcome to you, Miss Anna. Miss Nicola Maria. Hello, Miss Nicola. And may we please give it up for Mr. Kirill Nishanin. Thank you, dear sir. Thank you, Mr. Kirill, for joining us here. The path to crypto adoption for all those who are like me still into the thinking process whether to really invest or visit a great choice, the cryptocurrencies. So here you have all your answers, the solutions to all the challenges faced by all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please give it up for all our distinguished panelists and as well as our moderator, Mr. Gordon Einstein, to take over. Thank you, dear sir. Can we have the cordless? Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to do that myself. I'm going to run and get one. I don't know where my crew is. Hello?
Here, watch this.
Amira, can we have the cordless, darling, from outside, from the console? Sure. I'm sorry for this.
It's okay.
Meanwhile,
right.
yeah, meanwhile, all the smiles. I'm
gonna fill the time. Give us the 30-second version of you. Go.
Hello everybody, my name is Syedna-Mufaddal. I'm CEO of Coins Telegram, and we have a group of companies. We have crypto fund, news media, and as well PR agency. So we help a lot of crypto blockchain projects with promotion, with PR into financial, business, crypto media like Forbes, Entrepreneur, Coin Telegraph, and so on. Help with regional development. We work with a lot of YouTube, Twitter influencers. We as well develop our own YouTube channel where we take interviews with key leaders in the blockchain industry, and as well we help with different social media campaigns.
Fantastic. That was more than 30 seconds, but for you. Go.
Hello.
Thank you.
I'm Constantin Nene, co-founder of SinCity, the first R-rated metaverse on the blockchain, a 3D open world game with a storyline and the gameplay very similar with one of the most famous games, Grand Theft Auto, which has a very unique play-to-earn model. Basically, the entire economy of the game is run by users.
Hi, my name is Ben Jalil Idrisi. I'm just representing Michael Kadash, who is stated here. So I'm the co-founder of iMedis. We have developed a medical ecosystem that offers a variety of digital healthcare services, and we are going to release an NFT marketplace as well in terms of scientific and healthcare data.
I may have something for us to work on, actually. This could be the start of a business relationship. Go.
Hello, my name is Kirill. So I'm in crypto since 2017. Before I have like 10 years of sales experience in IT companies like Hewlett-Packard or Lenovo. So I run a fund here in Dubai. So we supply a lot of startups with fundraising. For example, iMedis is one of my partners. So we're helping them to expand the MENA region market. So plus we manage asset fund, more than $10 million liquidity, and we put in different assets. So you are welcome to ask any questions regarding technologies. Nice to meet you guys.
Fantastic. Gordon Einstein, international man of mystery, otherwise known as crypto and blockchain attorney. Happy to be here. So the topic for tonight is the path to crypto adoption, which is vague enough that I can make it mean anything I want. So I'm going to ask a whole bunch of random questions and see what happens here. So let me throw out random question number one. Is legal recognition required for crypto to get adopted as a currency? Constantine.
Well, depends from what point of view you are you looking at it. Sometimes might be required to be a legal recognition. From what I build, for example, the game that I build, yes, because we need to have a KYC on the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
You want to be contrary, Benjamin?
Well, that's a very complex story, right? I mean, generally, we have things going.
You never expected this was going to be a relaxing panel with me, the moderator, right?
Yeah.
Just this is going to be like, Hunger Games.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I mean, we have already an infrastructure without any recognition. So, but definitely the legal recognition would support the system. It would make it, like we would have the mass adoption that we are all waiting for. Yeah, I think most of us working in the space would benefit from it.
Does it perhaps benefit, well, taking the example of DeFi, just taking it, does it perhaps benefit from not being legally recognized or perhaps being beyond legal recognition?
I think some people benefit from it not being...
Some of them in this room, hopefully.
Yes. Yeah. Well, generally, I think for global adoption, we all would benefit from legal adoption and some kind of regulation.
So let me pass this to Anya. What do you think about El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin, and if you have an opinion, how is that going to ripple globally?
So I think that adoption by a country as Bitcoin as a legal tender is one thing. Of course, it helps to popularize cryptocurrency, especially the airdrop to all the people. And they had before only one currency, not their own. They used US dollar, and now they can try to be a bit independent with Bitcoin. But still, nobody don't condemn the use of Bitcoin in other countries unless we have like China bans and etc. It can be only there can be only the difficulties for the fiat crypto on ramp. When people just can't use exchanges like in China or as well in India, crypto is still in the gray zone. But in a lot of countries, like for example in Japan, they legalized crypto already for many years as well. My country, Ukraine, is on the path to the crypto adoption, and now the new law is under review and under some elaborations, so it's quite a big step.
Kirill, does crypto benefit from legal recognition?
So it really depends, first of all, which type of country, which type of coin or token. So, for example, you could issue your personal coupon in digital assets. It's not needed for legal recognition. For example, discount code. So this is also depending on which country you operate in. If you go to US market, any related to mass market selling, fundraising, you need to be regulated, fully regulated. If you go to fundraising with utility token for other markets, some of them are 100% regulated, some are like more or less, but it's really a matter of token and your coin economy. So if it's a utility, some markets doesn't need any legal recognition.
Okay, and so on the road to crypto adoption, how do we get it so that in the year 2025, my mom goes to the market and uses crypto there and feels comfortable with it?
Super easy. So
that's it? That's the whole answer? Cool, thanks. Yeah. Now keep the microphone. You're not, let's go. Kirill?
Okay.
You show.
So let me explain pretty simple stuff. Blockchain is just extra layer of technology. It's nothing new. So for end customers, nothing changed. So once your mom enters the grocery store, she will have her, for example, digital ID, which will connect it somehow to loyalty points of grocery store market, which store loyalty tokens on blockchain. That's it. She just tap her ID, and that's it, and she do some transaction.
Okay, so I think what you're saying, and I've heard versions of this before, that crypto adoption and true blockchain adoption will happen when the consumer is no longer even aware that they're using crypto and blockchain. It's going to be like electricity or the internet or a QR. Well, maybe a better example is like the scanning code on everything you buy at the supermarket. They don't need to understand the scanning code. They just go there.
Yes, but we will face another problem. Who will put layer between blockchain and this application? Because once you go through your personal crypto wallet and you connect your finance directly to exchanges, you manage it. But if you put your data in some application, who manage it? It's still centralization.
All right, so let me make it a slightly more complex.
Okay.
Okay, pass the microphone. So let's assume my mom's like super clever, okay, and it's not 2025, it's 2023, okay, so closer to now. And this sort of seamless behind-the-scenes crypto and blockchain integration with current systems isn't quite there. And we're still in the world of digital wallets, we're still in the world of visible crypto. How does my mom go to the market and spend it without blowing up a blood vessel?
I mean, you said your mom is smart, right?
Yeah, she must have adopted me. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, there are some issues, definitely. I mean, when it comes to wallets and blockchain and private keys, there has to be some kind of understanding of the applications. I would say that your mom will do pretty well because she has a son maybe that can support her and she's pretty smart. But at the end,
kissing up will get you nowhere. In fact, I'm gonna get tougher on you. Okay, no, real life situation. Okay, like a normal adult person who did not grow up steeped in this world, but is not dumb. You know, how do they use this stuff? Because let me express an idea. I'm as expensive or valuable. I guess valuable is a better word. As Bitcoin has become. And it's lovely what's going on with Solana and Ethereum and the rest of the stuff is clearly gaining utility, it's clearly gaining value, but the day-to-day usage of it, not the buying of it, but the day-to-day usage of it is still elusive, except for us technorati. So how do we bridge the gap in real life?
Well, I mean, there are some solutions. You know, the credit card from crypto.com, for example.
Yep.
So this may be one of the approaches that can help. And the other things, QR codes could be supportive, some kind of QR codes that are directly associated to your wallet. Yeah, but generally, nevertheless, you should have some kind of insights, in my opinion, to not, you know, also be scammed. Because if you have, I think there will be also a lot of issues if you don't understand the situation, you know, and how things work. You have to go into your wallet. You have to have the address of the one that is selling something, and then, you know, use your wallet adequately. I don't know. I don't know. For me, I cannot understand, but.
You know. So let me kind of reframe the question for you, and then feel free to answer the first question, but maybe the second one also. As much as we all like peer-to-peer transactions, as much as we like disintermediating banks and financial institutions, we kind of look at these things as legacy systems. You know, when you send a Bitcoin from wallet A to wallet B, it's irreversible. It's gone. And a lot of these transactions, these smart contracts, you know, when they get quote-unquote hacked, they're not reversible. I mean, it was nice that we were able to fork the DAO attack way back with Ethereum, but for the most part, it is what it is. You know, daddy's not home. We're in this bizarre state of nature when it comes to crypto. And the consequences are high, and the chances of making a mistake are high, and you can't really recover from mistakes. So with normal banking and normal credit card, you know, if there's fraud or mistake, you can go ask your parents, whether their parent be the bank or the government, to do something about it. It is inherently harder to be safe with crypto. It's more power, but it's harder. So is it consumer appropriate at all?
Well, we adapt. People adapt. Maybe if we talk 10 years ago about Yahoo Messenger, for example, not all of the people knew to use it. And even there, scams still exist and so on. So people will adapt to Bitcoin, will adapt to crypto, will adapt to learn how to use a wallet. They will understand that a transaction is irreversible. So we are heading there.
Well,
slowly.
okay, should crypto transactions, when applied on a consumer level, be reversible? In other words, do we need to put another layer on top of it for consumer transactions, or do we just make this one big Darwin test, where if you don't succeed, that's okay? The smart ones who succeed will breed, and the other ones will go away.
We can put a layer of security, for example, or to send maybe to an escrow, just in case that a transaction he mistakes to send it or something like this. Maybe we can find a way to reverse the transaction, but not this is the purpose of the crypto.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying maybe it's a thing. So let me pass it to Anna. So let me, we started with 2025. They went into 2023, and then we're in this magical world of 2021 now. Help my mom use crypto.
So another question, whether we need, how we perceive crypto. Either this is money or this is a financial asset. For me, it's rather financial asset, hedge against inflation, digital gold rather than money for everyday purchases. And I don't want to spend my Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other coins which are highly volatile in everyday life. I would prefer just to use stable coins for that. And all other like Bitcoin, altcoins, more financial assets for me, and I just hold them, invest into them, and with expectations that the price will rise. So for me, it's like alternative to stocks and other financial assets. And as for use as stable coins, as well in other questions, whether we need to use crypto in everyday life, like for the purchases in the shops or paying for some other everyday expenses. And the commission is too high, like even to send, for example, USDT on Tron chain or on Binance chain, it will be like $1 or 80 cents. So like for micro purchases, it's still too high commission and it's not relevant. So maybe there will be some other solutions for that in future. And I consider crypto to be quite convenient for some bigger payments, and that it works 24/7. There are no intermediaries, so like you can easily send either this is like $5 or several millions. You can send it just in a matter of a few minutes, and the commission will always be the same. And like you don't need to wait for any opening hours or etc. So this is a real thing for me. And for everyday purchases, I see that more like very crypto geeks prefer that, and I have some friends who even look for the restaurants, shops, and go to only to those places where it's possible to pay with crypto. And maybe a lot of people in our industry just operate mostly in crypto, and to pay for something in everyday life, they need to cash out crypto. So not to pay any additional commissions for cashing out, it's more convenient just to pay in crypto directly. So it can be in that way, and that we have as well crypto cards like Crypto.com cards, Binance cards, Ternio, Pluto, some other companies as well launched their crypto cards, and I think this is the future.
So on one hand, you gave me hope. On the other hand, you made me sad. The subtitle of the Bitcoin white paper was peer-to-digital system for peer-to-peer digital cash. That was actually the name of the white paper, and I think Satoshi's vision was literally replacing cash, like the equivalent of handing someone dollar bills back and forth, an ability to send value over time and over space, like cash, peer-to-peer, without an intermediary. I think what I'm hearing you say is that Bitcoin, things like Bitcoin, have become financial assets that may have value and use there, but aren't useful for cash, and now stable coins like USDT and USDC have taken over the role that maybe Bitcoin was supposed to have, with that with that daily spending of crypto. I don't know how I feel about that, because on one hand, the big gorilla that we all pinned our hopes on with Bitcoin was supposed to be this, but it's become something else. And now we've kind of given the dollar a second life by making it a stable coin. It's been reborn as a stable coin. Maybe it shouldn't be reborn. Maybe that's stopping us from doing our transition. So Kirill, let me pass it to you. Does USDT, and again, I like I said, I have mixed feelings on this topic. Does USDT, and does Tether and Circle and the rest of the stuff, do these currency-based stablecoins, these one-for-one equivalents of the digital dollar or the digital euro, whatever, are they facilitating crypto transaction, or are they getting us stuck halfway?
So actually, the whole humanity doesn't create any new technology. Bitcoin is just analog of the gold. You could collect small portion of gold, go and buy something via gold. So real paper, like any currency, it's like analog of stable coin. This is the same. Peer-to-peer money is Bitcoin, but it's like huge, massive for banks, for some funds, whatever. So you doesn't sell it, you just collect. Once the price goes to the moon, how everybody expected. So the future itself, so it should be stable coins. Light will manage the future finance on the world.
So basically China. Got it.
Yes.
So is Tether, just give me your take, do stable coins that reference real, in quotes, fiat currencies facilitate crypto adoption? Are they facilitating it, it's getting us stuck? Are they a natural stepping stone? What do you see? And I never promised easy questions.
Yeah, it's it's a difficult one. Well, I think stablecoins are important to have that influx of investors, because most of us, and I would confirm what she said, do that.
I'm going to interrupt. Should someone buy an apartment building with BTC?
Yeah, this is something different. Yeah,
and
this
explain why.
Yeah, that it is correlated to the the specifications of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, first of all, is kind of small. Even if you would like to pay for something on a day-to-day basis, you would prefer something else in terms of payment. But there are also fees that comes up, that are associated with every purchase that you do. Besides, you will lose a possible, a possible rise in value. So everyone that has Bitcoin, tries to estimate some kind of exit point in the future, but it's definitely higher than it is now. So, a flat, an apartment could be something to invest some parts of your Bitcoin into, because it's also an asset that develops in value. So that's...
Well, you anticipated my next hypothetical. Would you buy a Lamborghini with Bitcoin?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Definitely not.
No.
What do you have against Lamborghinis? Would you buy Maserati? No, okay, I get it. So I think what I'm hearing you say is Bitcoin, we believe, is an appreciating asset.
Yes.
In general, it would not make sense to leave an appreciating asset unless you can go into another appreciating asset that potentially has use value also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a condo.
Yeah.
Interesting. Comments?
Because we're talking about the adoption of crypto, for me, stable coins are doing this adoption, are helping to adoption, because it's much easier for old adult, for example, to use a stable coin, because they know it's similar with real money in their mind, and it's easy for them to use a stable coin than Bitcoin, for example, when they have to calculate how much it costs and how much. But for them, makes more sense a stable coin. And yes, in my opinion, stable coins are good.
All right, so I'm gonna. So we looked at one possible variant of crypto adoption, which is stablecoin adoption, and we're kind of talking about whether it's a good thing, a bad thing, a roadblock or facilitator. Central bank digital currencies, are they sort of a fake out on crypto, a bad substitute that's going to fool everyone, or will they themselves facilitate crypto adoption? And let me get this to Anna.
So when we talk about central bank digital currencies and other things, that they are not that much decentralized as other cryptocurrencies, because they are anyway controlled by government, and especially we now see with China and their development of digital yuan. So basically governments just want to control all the transactions of the population of people, and they as well, like they want to avoid this money laundering, some other shady transactions which people use by paying in crypto or cash. In some way, it's good for educational purposes for people how to use cryptos. There are such things as central bank digital currencies, but from the other side, these are just some preventions from the government to use decentralized cryptocurrencies.
So let me keep it on you for a moment. Would you say that central bank digital currencies are cryptocurrencies, or are they digital currencies with the? I understand they're potentially in the blockchain. I understand there's a database behind them, but would you call them really a cryptocurrency?
I would rather call that digital currencies.
I tend to agree. In my point, and I'll share this with the group in a second. But from my point of view, when we use the term crypto and cryptocurrency, to me, it's not just that it uses cryptography. Everything uses cryptography these days. To me, it's that it uses crypto-economic design mechanisms to achieve consensus and proof of ownership in a way you don't necessarily need with a central bank digital currency. That's just my 2 cents. But for my triumvirate over here, central bank digital currencies, are they facilitators to crypto adoption, or are they an off-ramp to a different future? Kirill.
As I mentioned before, there is a battle between government and people. So the crypto gives a huge step forward to finance independent. So any smart guy could easily fundraise any amount of money on his project, easier. So from 0 to 1 million for a couple months with hard work and stuff. So this battle, for example, I was part of a discussion in New York with top banks like Bank of America, JP Morgan, Microsoft, IBM. And it was like panel discussion. What is the future of central bank digital currency? How it's adopted, how it's changed the US dollar in paper. It will be digital or crypto related. They doesn't know yet. So it happened like 3 years ago, and they still doesn't decide it. So through adoption, my pure believing in future it will be like not even government. It will be like countries belongs to corporate. So, for example, country of Apple, country of Samsung, country or whatever. So, because just imagine, the big brand, they have more power than government. They could hire their own army or whatever. So, who knows what happened in 100 years? We are not survive. But the future, it's people management by assets. Easy connection to independence of each people.
So I guess I'll comment. This idea of corporate nations is, to my mind, a little bit of a Renaissance concept. And of course, all the cyberpunk authors like William Gibson talked about this, and this is a theme in Alien and Blade Runner and the rest of it. To me, it's a neat idea as a brainstorm, but I don't think it would actually happen. I don't think a company can be. I don't think people are going to fight and die for Apple. They might fight and die to get an iPhone and cut in line and kill other people in line. But I don't know. I don't know if Steve Jobs is such a martyr that he would inspire this. But what do you think?
Well,
and sorry, we don't need to go down the tangent of like company. Well, actually. Yeah, actually we are. I'm sorry, I take it all back. There was all this talk about Amazon coming out with their own crypto, and it got all exciting, and Google coming out with their crypto, and Apple coming out with their own crypto. Is it just going to be another coupon system, or is it going to be something almost like a national currency? What do you see for it the effect of it in terms of crypto adoption?
Almost like a currency, not a coupon. Like we have.
Sorry, I used the wrong word actually. Do you see it becoming just like a corporate script, or do you think it might actually assume a currency-like function in the general economy?
It's a tough one.
I didn't promise. Look, I'm just. Was anyone expecting like a relaxing panel? No, it doesn't work that way. I hear the giggle on the side there. Okay, go.
Okay, so Facebook, Google, they are corporations. And what they are projects, like our projects, like my project, like his project. We all build cryptocurrencies to sustain our project. So I don't think it's something wrong if Facebook or biggest corporations build their own currencies and to support their own companies.
You raised a point I've never actually heard said out loud before, which is all these ICOs and all these blockchain platforms, they have their own self-generated economies through their tokens. I think what I just heard is that Facebook and these sort of conglomerates are going to develop their own internal economies based on their crypto.
Yes.
That might actually separate them from the main economy in a way. That's a freaky idea. Okay, Anna, lay something on us.
So basically, if we talk about altcoins and whether these are currencies, for me, altcoins are basically the alternatives of stocks in traditional finance. And so, like, everybody, of course, claims that coins of the tokens are just utility tokens, but basically everybody claims so more for regulatory purposes, so CSC doesn't run for them. But in reality, why do people buy these coins? Why do investors invest into them? Of course, because everybody think that this will be appreciating assets and they bet on these companies, so they invest into them. But in some way, yeah, these tokens are used within these projects, but for me, it's more alternative of the financial asset.
How are you doing for time?
What a wonderful session. You actually, I thought you'd probably find solutions to our challenges, but you throwing challenges at everyone, that was pretty much interesting, and we truly enjoyed.
If anyone in the audience wants to go into the blood sports, let's go. Let's go, man. Actually, I always like questions. I always like dialoguing with the audience. So just, does anyone, if I may, does anyone out there have a point of view on crypto adoption, whether it's coming or going, what might help with it, what's stopping it? Please, sir. And then if you don't mind, just and say who you are so we know. You know I'm $2,000 an hour. Okay. Oh, very good. Okay, I'll give you a 5% discount. No, look forward to it. Look, I know I have several familiar faces in the audience. Would anyone like to chime in there on crypto adoption? Nope. Going once? Going twice? I think we're good.
Thank you very much.
You can applaud. Cool.
Yes, we can give it a better applause. Come on.
That was so weak. Okay, I want high energy applause. Let's go, people. Come on. Our panelists, our hostess. Yay.
I appreciate it. Very, very kind of you.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much.
Please continue the applauses. And we're going to request you all for a group photo up in the center.
Don't break the microphone.
Yes, our friend from the media photographer, sir, please. Thank you very much. Let's continue the applauses as we truly thank Mr. Ben El Edrisi, Mr. Mike Muron. Is it?
I'm keeping his place.
Oh, thank you so much on his behalf. And your name is, sir?
Constantine.
Sorry?
Constantine.
Constantine, I like this. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ms. Anna Kdova, thank you so much. And Mr. Kirill Mishanin. Ladies and gentlemen, let's... And of course, the one and only, let's give it up for exceptionally fabulous and amazing moderator, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the founding partner, Mr. Gordon Einstein. our minds working truly sharp. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all blessed. And it's absolutely an honor for all of us to welcome our Honorable President of Liberland. Let's please put our hands together as we all welcome His Excellency with Jetlika. Welcome back once again, dear sir.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure, of course, to be here at EXPO on the first blockchain conference on the World Expo ever. We actually do have a nice use case for the use of blockchain technology. It is implementation of blockchain on the governance of the country itself. It is something quite exciting. Can you imagine that you are actually able to run everything that is happening inside of the country on a transparent platform? But let's get back to the one question. I'm just wondering, has anybody ever thought about starting a new country? Here, somebody ever considered that idea? Am I the only one in this room? Usually somebody raises the hand up. I'm really excited that what we have done some 6 years ago had a tremendous impact all around the world. It really made people think about their own countries and how they can be run. And after the 6 years, we finally got to the stage when all the ideas are coming together and they are being materialized. And we're actually the first ones to see the initial, not even rendering, but the initial model of the Liberland itself, which was put together by Zaha Hadid, one of the most famous architectural studios in the world. And it's all going to be also in the 3D, so that's going to be very exciting. And it will be all connected to Liberland blockchain. But let's get into 10 steps that you actually need to do if you ever decided to start a country in the new century, which I think are necessary for a successful launch of that nation. I think there are actually these Montevideo criteria that you might have heard about, and these criteria mean that you need to have a population, you need to have a defined territory, you need to have a government, and you need to have a diplomatic relation with other countries. But there are also so many other things in the modern world which I think are necessary in order to become recognizable. In order to start something new, you really are breaking the paradigm. You need to bring to the table some new ideas. But to start with, it's a very good idea to bring some ideas that already worked, and those are the ideas of freedom and free market. And I think you can see here in Dubai what a freedom-oriented place with very low taxes or zero taxes has done to a desert, with, of course, a great government by we are building on the very same ideas. But there is also, we have to be honest, there is also a place for some innovation in that. The American Revolution brought us American Constitution, and I think we can actually do even better. And that's what we are trying to achieve with Liberland Constitution, putting together different elements from different constitutions, and we have just finished that, and we are also going to release it in 1 month. You need to also find unclaimed territory, and that's a bit of a challenge in today's world. We have managed to find a place between Serbia and Croatia, and we had a very nice and supporting statement from beginning from Serbia, which was the former, which Liberland has formerly belonged to. And if you look onto any world maps, it is either Liberland or it's still marked as Serbia. If you, for example, go to open source maps, you will find there is already Liberland. If you're ever flying over Balkans, you might see Liberland on the world maps on your plane. So it's kind of cool that we are making it already to some decent, that we are getting recognized also by the map system around the world. And if you look into what Croatia thinks about Liberland, yes, we are a challenging project for them. They still don't know what to do with us, and that's why we are in the places like EXPO, where we are explaining how beneficial Liberland could enormously be for the whole region, and especially for Croatia. And we need your support as well to explain to Croatia at some point, maybe with your businesses or with your diplomatic activities, and I know many of you are well connected here, what Liberland can actually do for them. So, and you need to have a competitive form of governance. You need to really come up with the best solutions that are out there. And we have decided to copy again some models from Swiss democracy, some models from Singapore, so we're a little bit of meritocracy. We also have, of course, the elements of American Revolution. believe that the smaller amount of laws possible, the better. So we only have one institution that makes new laws, Congress, but we have 3 institutions that can get rid of the new laws, the public veto and also the Senate as well as the Constitutional Court. So I think that's very important to make sure that Liberland doesn't become over-regulated in the future. You need to build diplomatic relations and humanitarian relations. We are quite good at it. We got a couple countries to recognize Liberland, but of course we have around 200 countries to go. So it's also excellent to be here during this time of EXPO and embrace these relations. We are active in a humanitarian ways in many countries around the world. For example, very recently, because Liberland was the first country to use Bitcoin for its reserves, we also donated a couple Bitcoins to the, for example, hospital in El Salvador in order to further our diplomatic relations with El Salvadoran government, but also to help. I think it's great when a country like ours now can send a donation in Bitcoin in order to help the children in need on the other side of the planet. And many other projects which are happening as we speak, actually, where Liberland Aid Foundation is one of the very active, globally working charitable organizations. By the way, that picture is from the recognition when we went to Somaliland and signed a collaboration agreement 2 years ago, which was the first deal with sovereign government that we made. And what do you want to do? Of course, use the latest technology for the governance itself. That's why I'm speaking here. We're using blockchain. We used what we found was most suitable for our needs. We used a substrate of the Polkadot blockchain in order to put our constitution on the blockchain, and we are currently testing how exactly it's going to work. It will also support DeFi. It will be directly connected to our land registry. Basically, justice system will also be working on that very similar platform. So we're building a scalable system of justice to which other projects that are based in the smart contract world could plug into. So you could put in your Ethereum contract that if there was some problem with, for example, some physical delivery, the decision will be made by a Liberland court. So we're in this era where we're trying to bridge the old with the new, and I think we're doing quite well in combining what was best in the world of, let's say, old governance models and as well in the world of the new decentralized autonomous organizations. What is special about Liberland that whenever you pay taxes, they're not just voluntary, but you actually get something in return. And we have something which you get in normal country. People, the taxpayer's office doesn't say thank you. We actually give people that pay taxes merits back, which are either awards or it's our system to basically give more say to the citizens of Liberland, please. And what we are doing right now, as you can see on that first slide, we received this amazing design by Zaha Hadid. It's all turning out to be a digital Liberland on itself. And there are so many ways how these things can develop, but if you're interested in it, in less than 2 weeks, we will be able to actually host events for up to 800 people inside of the future Liberland. And I'm really excited that it will be directly connected to the Liberland land registry. So I think that makes us really the most advanced country in terms of land registration, where you cannot just see from 2D where your land is, but you can actually walk it. You can put your house to where you want it in the future. And then you can also use it for social events. So I'm quite excited that we've got this alliance between the Zaha Hadid, Metaverse, as well as Metapurs, a very important company in the crypto world, to make this happen. And it's very important steps for us to make proper planning for how the Liberland land will be used. Please, ahead. There is just one picture that I took actually when we were testing it, just that you have an idea how it's going to look inside. It will make it very, I would say, attractive to meet in a digital Liberland and organize events or parties or conferences of any kind. Please, one more step ahead. What we're also doing, and if you're coming physically to Liberland, we need to sooner or later solve the situation that we have with Croatia, but meanwhile we're developing around Liberland as much as we can. We are building a free trade zone, which is very important for Liberland businesses. On the Serbian side of the river. We're building a small village, which is on the right side, that has already started a couple months ago. And we're building a fleet of ships because we initially need to settle Liberland. And Liberland is actually 10 kilometers away from regular civilization. So the best way to do it is prepare the fleet of ships to be able to independently operate in that territory. And those are all the things that you can come and see with your own eyes. And I think there is one more thing, like Liberland is not just one person endeavor. We were three when Liberland started, that was a small group, but it turned out to be a 700,000 person nation. Right now around the world, in every country that you can think of, there are at least a couple Liberlanders. In the United States, for example, 20,000 people applied for citizenship. So we are a global nation of forward-looking people that are very much in crypto space, pushing the boundaries of what blockchain can do. Peace. So what I would like to do, I would like to invite you, of course, to become citizens. And it's an easy process. It takes a couple minutes to register for your residency, and then also become a citizen at some point, potentially in the future. I would like to invite you to our anniversary on 13th of April. That's a big event where we are going to launch all of these things, including the Digital Liberland in an official way. And I would also love to invite you for Floating Man Festival, which is every year on 13th of August. It's a big social gathering, a lot of fun for all liberty-oriented people to get together. We don't have limit on how many people can become your residents. We really aim to be a multi-million, maybe billion people country, and I would be very happy if you come with us on that journey. Thank you very much. Please come.
Mark the dates, the 13th of April and the 13th of August for the celebration. Sure. This is so interesting and great benefits. If you're planning to have a dual citizenship, come on, ladies and gentlemen, it's absolutely an honor for all of us to welcome our Honorable President and hear from him himself. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. I'm going to request you all for a loud round of applause for His Excellency with Jeklicka. And for all those, I truly have bright ideas and I really want to go ahead with it. And I'm certainly having a word with you, dear sir. And I look forward to the grand celebration as well on the 13th of April, as you mentioned. Of course, and the summertime, the 13th of August. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to pitch our projects, and our first pitch is by AI Medis. Once again, may we please invite Mr. Ben El Idrissi. A wholehearty welcome to you. Welcome back. And I know the room is chill, but let your proposal be very warm enough. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. May we all give it up for AI Medis, please. Thank you, dear sir.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me here. Well, AI Medis. So I'm Ben El Idrissi. I'm one of the co-founders of AI Medis. We built AI Medis in the recent 6.5 years. It's an operational platform since 2020. It's a healthcare ecosystem that offers all kinds of healthcare services like online consultations, e-prescriptions, medication trackers, all the data that is entered on our platform is standardized on WHO standards, so our data can be transferred seamlessly cross borders. And to explain how we came to that platform, we are doctors and scientists that worked in hospitals and healthcare institutions for long years. And of course, we observed the deficiencies in the systems. I mean, we had always trouble with the data of patients. When patients came to our hospital with CT scans from partner hospitals, we couldn't couldn't use them because they use different standards. They have a different system. So at the end, we had to redo the CT scan, which doubled the cost of the treatment, and on the other hand, was bad for the patient as well, because of course the reason is radiation, right? So there was a situation in the hospitals that still exists that made us think about a solution to unify the existing healthcare data, to make data transferable, to make data something that the patient can access at any time, everywhere, and that is standardized. Therefore, we started building a platform that is coded under the WHO standards. So we use different codes like FHIR, HL7, ICD codes, so that every patient, wherever he is, can present his information in every country, and this information is understood by every healthcare professional. So this was the first thing that we did, and we released our platform as said 2020. We have more than 800,000 Android and iOS downloads already. We have a few 100,000 applications via the web platform. We operate profitable since 2 years. And what we are bringing now is the next step, and I think this is a very unique situation that we have, is an NFT marketplace, the first NFT marketplace for healthcare and scientific data. Why do we do that? Because there is the need, of course. We have also worked in pharmaceutical companies, and we have seen the quality of data. We have seen the issues that companies have when it comes to dealing with the data, processing data, trading data. And data is the money of this time. Google, Facebook, they are valued highly because they have data. It's not the intrinsic that they have, it's the data that makes them so valuable. So there are a lot of companies in healthcare, a lot of researchers, institutions, universities that create, gather very valuable data that is valuable to other researchers, to other institutions, even to governments. And we give them the marketplace where we standardize and make actually the same that you maybe know for NFTs in arts and music, that give them the opportunity to get their royalties. So every time they create a valuable packet of information, they can transfer it, and with every transfer they get their money. You have multi-ownership of data. You have several institutions that work together on a research project. So this is actually something that makes a lot of sense and gives all the healthcare institutions a new cash flow opportunity, right? So it is a transferable asset that is traceable and unique and can be traded. So that's something that we've been working on, and we are going to release 2 big cooperations in these terms, one with the WHO, and one will be a big breast cancer study coming up, and we have a lot of interest from pharmaceutical companies, of course, that we are going to work with, generally allowing all stakeholders in healthcare to have one platform that interacts or give them the opportunity to communicate with each other. Okay, please give us the first slide. So as said, iMedis is already live since 2020. You can download the apps, you can access it via our website. Next slide, please. So there's interest. That's our core team. So to have an overview, we work for quite a while on the project. So this is a long-term project. We are going to, of course, develop and release more features this year and next year, which will also include a hospital information system. Please, next step. Yeah, I mean, I think all of us know that the aging population of this planet is a real challenge for healthcare, especially. And that governments, institutions, and of course the patient himself will strive for better solutions and look for the best possible outcome. And this can be achieved through platforms that offer access to information. Information in healthcare is the key milestone for further development in healthcare. We have already seen that with just partially, evaluating partially, for example, CTs of the chest, that we can, have better diagnosis of lung cancer, for example. This is already proven, and this is just the beginning. We double the amount of data that we generate in healthcare every year, every 12 to 14 months. So this is, of course, something that is given to us by the opportunities that we have in terms of technology and storage. And now we are coming to the point that we need, of course, also to facilitate how we deal with data, how we trade data, how we standardize data, the best possible outcome. Next, please. Next, please. This is also. So the platform already offers a bunch of functionalities for the patient mainly. We have video chat consultations, appointment tools for doctors and hospitals. We give healthcare professionals a revenue stream, a new revenue stream that they didn't have up to now, but they can use their staff. That is maybe not 100%. Let's say they are not. If they have free capacities, they can use them to do, for example, online consultations, and don't need to wait for them to have a patient in the hospital. They can release 6 certificates and second opinions online. So these are generally things that we try to mirror from the real world workflow. Next, please. Yes, as said, IMEDIS Virtual Hospital is the next hospital information system that we will release. Up to now, we worked with hospitals in a way that we approached them and created APIs for their hospital information systems. Therefore, they could transact their already existing data that they have in-house with our platform. In discussions with hospital owners, we went further and came to the conclusion that we are releasing a separate hospital information system for hospitals that are interested. It will be more user-friendly than the ones that are in existence, and way cheaper, and give the opportunity for hospitals then directly to access the whole ecosystem whilst working on their own everyday workflows. Yeah, generally, the blockchain in terms of healthcare gives patients and us the opportunity to, give trust. So many people, especially in Europe, I mean, we are a mostly German team. The company is in the Netherlands, and meanwhile in the Philippines. And now we are here in Dubai. We have established a third company here in Dubai. So when we speak with hospitals, there's always the question about privacy and security. I think every company has the same issues that work digitally. Generally, blockchain solutions in this case gives first of all transparency. So if you have an account on our platform and you are a patient, for example, you can see which institution, which doctor, who accessed your data. We store each and every transaction, creates an ID that is stored on the blockchain. This is the first thing that we do. We store authentication from doctors on the blockchain. We store vaccination passes on the blockchain. So this is what we started with as an offer for patients, and before we went further to create a more B2B oriented platform and marketplace as well. In terms of interoperability, I would like to add that it is very important. Something like this not in existence up to now. Most hospitals have to use their own systems. They have hospital information systems, and every region has their own, fragmented situation, which leads to miscommunication, which leads to bad outcomes in terms of treatment as well. So if you, for example, have your surgery yesterday here in Dubai and you fly to another country, maybe India or the United States, there's always the lack of information that leads to a lot of problems because you have to redo all the standard procedures that they already did, which will raise your costs and also leads to a loss of time and to inefficient workflows within the facilities. So therefore, interoperability is something very important that we address as well with a lot of energy to make all the important stakeholders in healthcare connected seamlessly and in, by the way, in meanwhile 13 languages. Yeah, the NFT marketplace, I think a lot of us know about NFTs. There's of course a hype, but it makes a lot of sense also to use NFTs. Why shouldn't you participate in royalties? Like any artist or singer, if you produce valuable information and research and the processed and gathered data can be treated in the same way. Yeah, that's generally it. That's it. Yeah, I don't think that we need that. We can continue forward. Is that allowed, by the way, token usage? Yeah. Yeah, well, we have, no, I don't think so. Huh? Okay. Anyway. Yeah, well, we are, as said, we are convinced that the future of healthcare is in digitization. We have very good partners at the moment that we work on to grow our platform and our network. We hopefully will be successful here in the UAE as well. As said, we are in Europe, in the Philippines now at the moment, and we have a lot of traction in Southeast Asia, to be honest. I think, as always, in terms of technology, Southeast Asia is the key element in terms of success. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tessa. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the project pitch by AI. Thank you, Mr. Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, I know the room is pretty much chill, but trust me, we are feeling really energetic, and thanks to the project pitch by AI Medis. And now, please continue the applauses, because applauses will also make you feel warm and better. And you can constantly move your toes up and down and feel warm. Come on, let us all put our hands together as we invite our project pitch by Akarche. A wholehearty welcome to you, dear sir. Thank you so much, dear sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vakas is here with us, and let's truly take a look and understand the project interesting pitch right away, right now, by Mr. Vakash.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. If it's a little louder right now, then I'm going to be like this, is because I've got feedback that on the live stream the voice is not very clear.
Thank
so
you.
so I'm gonna be speaking very closely to the mic so that probably in the live stream people can still listen clearly. It's been a long day. People have been sitting long. We started late, and now we're still sitting. It's still good to see people in the room. To start off with, can I have the presentation? Okay. To start off with, let me just introduce you to myself. My name is Waqas. I'm the founder and CEO of Akar Chain. We've been working and developing on this project since last couple of years, and we've been trying to get working with the core product, which is basically tokenization of real estate assets. Before I continue with the entire slide and go ahead, let me just, with the show of hands, please get how many of you actually own real estate asset? How many of you actually own real estate? Okay. And how many of you want to own real estate? Everyone. How many of you feel that the safest or the best investment is real estate? Okay. And so traditionally, real estate has been the most safest form of real estate. Now, you see the disparity over here is that, all of you want to own real estate, but when it comes to when I asked you that, how many of you feel that real estate is the best investment, people don't raise their hands. Now, this is because you're looking at real estate fluctuating, real estate bubbles coming up, you're looking at real estate prices going up, coming down. You really don't know where to invest your money, rightly hard-earned money, in which particular asset class, whether it's a luxury class or whether it's so basically we're trying to narrow down this search for you and make it much more easier for you so that you could invest and try investing by smaller amounts and learning about the property and then looking ahead and going ahead and investing more into it. So we'd like to tell ourselves as the first decentralized real estate marketplace for NFTs. We are a PropTech and FinTech solution providing investment opportunities, and we have two basic platforms. One is the akarchain.com and the other is akarchain.io. A traditional real estate platform for property listing, working conventionally in exactly similar manner that any other real estate platform would work as, with a little bit of technology improvement in terms of providing more governance to listers, developers, and also providing direct access to users with the property owners and the listing agents of the property. Now, but what we are really interested, or rather showcasing in this event, is our technology that we have developed, our technology in terms of real estate asset tokenization, which is the decentralized real estate investment ecosystem, akarchain.io. Can I have the next slide, please? Yes. So what exactly akarchain.io is? What we are actually doing is we're digitizing the real estate. Now, if you actually go to see that the real estate industry is the only industry which is actually not digitized, because what you actually see in terms of listings on e-commerce similar platforms or real estate platforms is only the listing, but everything else in real estate still happens on paperwork. It still happens on multiple coordinations with multiple people, multiple agencies, whether it's brokers, lawyers, developers, I mean, you name it, and multiple people are actually involved in one transaction to facilitate. So we are trying to digitize this by smart contracts where you will be connected directly to the property seller, and your investment would be directly into the property peer-to-peer. Now, so as we say, it's a blockchain-powered real estate investing platform where the aim is to provide investments into real estate which are as easy as buying shares on stock markets. And this aim is actually achieved by fractionizing the real estate properties. Now, how would we do that? And what we actually offer is a hybrid platform for tokenization and minting NFTs, what NFT is NFT is based. I don't want to get into the details on what NFT is. That would be for another session. But NFT is a non-fungible token which actually provides proof of ownership for a digital asset. So the real estate asset is actually converted into a digital asset and then minted into an NFT where you get ownership and where we provide where we provide ownership through the NFT and the digital asset. Fractional tokens, NFT is further than fractionalized, and that's where the smaller bits of real estate assets actually come into picture. So the NFT is actually fractionalized further, and investors are owning into the fractional NFT. The secondary sale, now the secondary sale is through an OTC channel. That's more for further details, but I mean, you will slowly understand when we launch the platform, and when you're a part of the platform and part of the ecosystem, it will be much more revealing for you to understand how the actual ecosystem would work. And the fractional tokens, the sale of the fractional tokens, or rather the sale of the share value of a particular asset, is done through a crowdfunding mechanism. Where crowdfunding is now crowdfunding is an age-old tradition that has been happening since long. We've all been part of crowdfunding since, I don't know, since ages. Or we're still doing crowdfunding where we pool in money from friends, relatives, or acquaintances, and then probably buy a product, buy an asset, or whatever. So crowdfunding has always been a part of the ecosystem, but crowdfunding has been much more transparent, crowdfunding has been much more easier to access, and crowdfunding has been much more appealing to actually invest into through the use of blockchain technology. Next slide, please. Okay. We create an economy and a tokenized economy and an ecosystem of ourselves where our native token becomes the it's the main platform token, which is the AQR token, and which has DeFi staking and governance voting. So basically, what governance voting is, where people actually vote for decisions on the property, which I'll explain you going on further ahead, please. So how exactly the system of fractional tokens work, how exactly the NFTs are minted, and how it works. When I told you about governance voting, so our platform is completely decentralized. Now we are not here to create a decentralized ecosystem by centralizing the infrastructure and creating a decentralized ecosystem, but we are trying to create a 100% decentralized ecosystem. And when I say a decentralized ecosystem, is because even the listing of the properties on the platform are decentralized. So as a property owner, if or a developer or a broker or an asset holder wants to come on the platform, they can give they can provide details of the property, and this property details are then listed on the platform, where people and investors on the platform can actually vote whether they want this property to be listed on the platform. So it's basically an understanding where people actually decide what type of properties they would want to invest into and what type of properties they would want to see on the platform. The onboarding process is pretty simple. Once it's approved or disapproved, the people who have actually voted for approval get rewarded when they're staking AQR tokens. The people who had voted for disapprove will have to pay a fraction of a charge, which actually goes into the burn mechanism, and the tokens are actually burned. That's for the deflationary token economics. We do a due diligence on the property as well, complete due diligence in terms of how the property is, who the owners are, and how the property gets listed, legality in terms of jurisdiction, and also the transfer of ownership of the property. Once all this is actually identified, then comes the real, if I may say, the real beauty of this particular platform, where we actually create shares of a property. We are not creating shares of an SPV. We are not creating shares of a company which is holding a property. What we do is we take the real estate asset and we take the area, and the area of the property is then we use the metric system, either square feet or square centimeter or square meter, depending upon how many shares of a property we would like. And based on the number of shares of a property that would be needed, because if the property value is lower, then you would probably need a higher number of shares. If the property value is higher, sorry, so then you would need higher number of shares so that more people could pitch in. And if the property value is lower, then you could have a higher number of shares so that you have subsequent, or you have stable amount of shares in the property. And so when you divide the when you have the area of the property and the valuation of the property, you get the per share value, and then subsequently the other formulas that you have where you get the return on investment and gross yield percentage. Next slide, please. Okay, we are stuck. Anyways, I think I remember the next slide, so we can proceed ahead. Obviously, the next slide is where we are discussing about NFT and fractionalization. Sorry about the technical glitch, but I have the slide in my mind. I hope we could actually have that technology where you could see this, but so the next step is where we are actually talking about NFT and fractionalization and how the NFT is actually being created. And since we're here, very good. So NFT again, it's through a trustless and permissionless manner we are able to actually create NFT and then further create fractional tokens, which are ERC20 compliant tokens. And we currently are going to be minting NFTs on the Polygon chain, but we're not dependent on particular chain, but we will be actually creating multiple NFTs on different chains like Tezos, BSC, Ethereum as well. In our first discussion, somebody was talking about Wrap BTC, so yes, we are using Wrap BTC. That's because BTC is the only odd man out who happens to enter the ecosystem only when it's wrapped. Otherwise, we couldn't accept BTC. But anyways, BTC is still being accepted. So this is a platform where if you're holding Bitcoin and you don't know what to do with Bitcoin, and if you feel that the only way of using Bitcoin would be to wait for the price to go up from 30,000 to 50,000 or 50,000 to 60,000, then yes, you could use your Bitcoin to actually buy property shares, and your Bitcoin would be giving you money till the time it is there, and you also have immediate exit strategy as well. So investors will actually be having the opportunity to use this particular platform and invest their crypto digital assets into the fractional tokens, which are basically the fractional tokens of the NFT. Yes, please, next slide. Now, buying a property share, as I said, is pretty much simple. It's not a complicated process. As the property gets listed on the platform, the investors will purchase the share token. They get their fractional tokens into their wallet, and the property seller gets the funds. So it's all in a simple transaction. Yes, please. Next slide, please. Right. I think this is pretty much simple, where we're showing that we have the bridge basically created. Now, as a fraction, this is I think what everyone would have as a question is that if I buy into a fractional token, what is my right to a property? Now, do I become an owner of that property, or do I have the right to stay in the property? Well, as a fractional token holder of that particular property, yes, you have all the rights that are there for a property holder, but in a fractional manner. So your right to the property is only to the term that you have invested in. So, and that also you make decisions for the property. So every decision that comes in terms of tenancy contracts, long-term leasing, short-term leasing, decisions on like rent, whom to keep and whom not to keep, basically all these decisions are taken by you through a voting. So it's like a homeowners association on that particular property, and you vote on every decision of the property. And if you want to stay in the property, you could stay in the property as well, provided you pay the rental yield, which is accrued for every other stakeholder on the property as well. This again is through a voting mechanism where the other owners will decide how, if anyone of the property owners want to lease the apartment, lease the property, or stay in a property for a particular period of time. The next slide, please. So as a fractional token holder, you have immediate rights to the property. Next slide, please. You have immediate rights to the property, and yes, so this is the token utility where you could be using it, and okay. So as I said, we have burn mechanism, and plus I can just tell you the launch roadmap that we have. We'll be operational in this month. From the 15th to the 20th of October is where we are looking at a soft launch of the property listing platform, where you would be able to come and view properties and also have a chance to buy properties also in a fractional manner. These are the people who have actually supported us and helped us come to this stage, and we are very happy that they are a part of our ecosystem, they are part of our project as well. This is our team. Our team has been very helpful, very courageous. They've been through thick and thin and have been a part of our whole journey throughout, and we've had a wonderful team that has developed a wonderful product. Next, we have the advisors who have been advising us in terms of how to go ahead and in terms of all factors of life, and the project in terms of its life cycle, compliance, legal, and also in terms of the project completion as well. Yes, and these are our socials. Please follow us on our social media platforms. We have a huge community that has been there. You can ask questions on Telegram groups. You can ask questions on Twitter. We have a team that would basically answer you, and we're here to actually learn more about what you think as an investment scheme. And yes, we're here, and you can reach us at any point of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was so interesting. We look forward to following you and, of course, being connected on all the social media handles. And this is the world of today, the digital world, and we all are global citizens, only connected through the digital media. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you all to make sure that here, where we've created history, the first ever blockchain event in the history of World Expo, I'm going to once again remind you all that make sure you please post your selfies and make sure it goes viral. And that is definitely the next code where I'm going to truly invite our next project pitch by Code Viral, Germany. Ahuladi, welcome to you, dear sir. Our next pitch from our lovely lady is coming. Wow. Oh, that's lovely. Let's give it up for our very lovely lady. Code Viral, Germany. Let's take a look at the project pitch. Ma'am, you look lovely this evening. Take your time, please. Please take your time. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Simran Ahuja, and I'm truly thankful to Pushkinagha sir from Vertex Events for this wondrous invite all the way from the city of Mumbai, and our host, the very dynamic Mr. Gaurav. But please do be with us. As I promised you, we shall start on time tomorrow. So please make sure you're here with us tomorrow at the same time, and look forward to yet creating another history on day 2 as well. For now, if ma'am is ready, please, absolutely a pleasure to welcome you here. Our lovely ladies here. Wow. Oh, wow. Yes, the very, very beautiful name. It's completely magnificent. May we all once again put our hands together for Miss Alexandra, ladies and gentlemen. Code Viral, Germany.
So hello to everyone and very warm welcome. I know it's very late now, and this is the last pitch we have. And thank you so much for your attention. So first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's such a great pleasure and honor for me to be here at this outstanding blockchain conference at the EXPO in Dubai. I'm Alexandra Reichert, an Oxford Blockchain Strategy alumna and the CEO and founder of Code Viral, the new brand of Starriser, with a headquarter in the Maximilian Street in Munich. It's a strategy and IT consulting company and an SAP local partner company with a focus on Oxford blockchain strategies, blockchain, and cloud solutions. Prior to this role, I was an SAP manager, having been in the management team of SAP SE and SAP America, with more than 25 years of international business experience with big customers such as Intel, Nestle, SAP, Siemens, and many more. Next slide, please. All right. So we bring the two worlds of the old economy and the new blockchain world together. Starriser is the only strategy consulting company with a focus on Oxford blockchain strategies and SAP cloud solutions. Starriser has shifted the company focus very quickly from classic SAP consulting to strategy consulting for disruptive technologies. Has built a new business strategy and a new business model as well as a decentralized organization. To accelerate to becoming an intelligent enterprise or a smart city, Starriser builds secure blockchain applications and services on the SAP Cloud Platform underlying the blockchain strategy. Starriser has SAP partner certifications and numerous SAP certifications in financials, logistics, CRM. And today, I have patented for my company 16 blockchain solutions integrated into the SAP ecosystem as mobile app, also on Google and Apple, such as for the intelligent government, smart cities, wealth management, fashion, luxury brands, and e-health. Today, I want to present you Kova eHealth to combat pandemia, a revolutionizing hybrid blockchain solution with a payment solution on blockchain running on SAP, Google, and Apple. So first of all, why blockchain? And why hybrid solutions? And why e-health to combat pandemia? When I was flying this weekend from Munich to Dubai, the whole airplane had to wait for approximately 30 minutes for 4 passengers who were late due to corona tests and passport difficulties. One of these passengers had to pay 350 euros for 2 PCR tests because the first test result was not quick enough, so she had to repeat the test at the airport. On Kova eHealth, we sell only very innovative digital EU-certified products such as rapid antigen tests and PCR tests on blockchain. We have also a booth here during the conference at the EXPO where we present and sell these highly innovative health products, bulk procurement with special prices, together with our business partner in Dubai, the whole UAE region. So why blockchain? There are huge changes in the business world, but also in changing the world. So shift happens, and there will be huge changes with a tremendous impact on the business world, but also in our private lives. The promise of blockchain is that people, businesses, machines, and algorithms are free to transact and communicate with one another in a frictionless way. The benefits for businesses are more transparency, cost reduction, security, and traceability. The slides are much too fast. Please back. It's much too fast. Slide 7, please. Okay. So, the magic lifts to overcome the obstacles. In June 2021, the Starriser brand Viral announced a revolutionary hybrid cloud and AI and blockchain-powered e-health and e-commerce marketplace. Our long-term vision has been to streamline complex business processes with blockchain and integrate them into the SAP ecosystem. So what you have seen now was the platform, Kobai eHealth as a platform, and we have it also here as Kobai mobile version. Next slide, please. Yes. So the eHealth marketplace is integrated as an SAP hybrid mobile application in the SAP ecosystem and SAP Business Technology Platform. These innovations highlight Starriser's commitment to helping its clients and partners accelerate their digital transformations and build strategic ecosystems that can help prevent pandemia and drive better business outcomes in the medical supply chain. So leveraging the power of blockchain, the marketplace seeks to enable government agencies, corporations, healthcare organizations, and citizens in EMEA, in the Indian Ocean region, and now also in the UAE, to prevent rapidly spreading COVID-19 and other potential pandemia by overcoming supply chain challenges and digitally verifying the identities of those procuring goods through them. Kobai eHealth will play a critical role in disease mitigation. Next slide, please. By offering EU-certified preventative products as part of its portfolio. In addition, patients will also be able to access other antiviral products and services on the Kobai marketplace, including advice from experts and virologists, real-time world monitoring, rapid antigen tests, and more. So this is the SAP mobile app. This is how it looks like, and the picture on the right-hand side is the e-commerce part. So this is the complete blockchain part. And selling and buying via this blockchain is so rapid, and you can try that. We have a booth, and then you can see how quickly that works, and I can show you that directly today or tomorrow. And next slide, please. So Kobai is reaching beyond the realms of hospital reaching and infection prevention and into the broader business ecosystem as hotels, restaurants, fitness centers, and other facilities reopen and we begin to resume life as normal. Businesses have a commitment to keep their patrons safe. With our B2B and B2C solutions, Kobai offers a wide range of sanitary products to keep spaces clean and sanitized and their employees and customers safe. These include germicidal UVC products that deactivate the DNA of bacteria, viruses, allergens, and other pathogens. Next slide, please. So these are the very innovative EU certified products. I can show you all these products that we have here, and you can buy them directly here with our partner from Dubai. So all these products are very innovative and EU certified. And here you see the NOR UVC sanitization. These are sterile tubes. These are lamps. They are in the biggest hospitals of the world in Istanbul. They have 120 of these lamps. And here you see in Istanbul, even at McDonald's. Next slide, please. And I demonstrate you this wonderful product. It's Xeon Mobi UVC sanitization. And this is just this simple stick, and I put it here on my iPhone, and I switch it on like this. And here you see the UVC, and it disinfects everything within seconds. It's so wonderful. So you can take it everywhere while traveling or at your workplace. And you can buy this here at our booth. And it's this comes from Italy, and also the lamps are Italian design. And the newest technology that we sell very soon comes from our partner in Switzerland. It's a digitalized antigen test. So in Germany, for example, every company must install a test center for their employees with rapid tests. So you can buy the antigen test over our blockchain and get your certificate automatically. With our blockchain technology, we offer an anonymous AI face recognition. When suppliers log in, they have to prove their identity. So the camera takes a picture with their face and compares it with their passport photo automatically via the blockchain. They get a certificate afterwards that is stored on the blockchain. Afterwards, they don't have to insert the login data anymore. Via our e-health platform Kobai, we also sell specific products as NFTs. These are non-fungible tokens to avoid imitations of our products. So we plan to create the next app for luxury fashion brands and sell the products as NFTs. I will show you after the presentation or tomorrow how the SAP mobile app works and how it looks like. You can see how easily it is possible to buy e-health products, bulk procurement directly over this platform via the blockchain. If you have questions and are interested in this platform and our products, please come to me after the presentation. I'm outside and very happy to help you. So thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for having me. Wish you a pleasant evening. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This truly was an amazing presentation by Ms. Alexandra, and we really want to know more about Xeon and actually pick up one for ourselves so that everything around us is disinfected absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the good news is that we've met here today and created history. The best news is that I look forward to meeting you tomorrow, and the supremely best news is that I look forward to meeting you all for dinner. Kindly join us on the first level at the Taj for a lavish spread dinner. It's on the first level, the same pavilion, right? Thank you, Pushkinagha, sir, for the lavish dinner, and we look forward to interacting with all of you and, of course, talking more about cryptocurrencies, bitcoins, and finance conversations. To all the people from all across the world, truly thankful to each and every one of you for being here with us. I know it's so chill out there, but let's feel warm and better while we dine. Thank you and enjoy yourself. Look forward to meeting you tomorrow sharp at 5 p.m. and I promise we'll start at sharp 5. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a lot. you to my technical team. Thank you to our friends from the media, photographers, videographers. Thank you so much.